What's up, everybody? Welcome back to C&D Gaming. I'm Chase here with Dustin, and we got Game 6 for the Jets season, playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, in our ending of our last video, we misspoke. For some reason, we thought it was playing the Chiefs, but we was wrong. It's going to be the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's
So,
what the Broncos was probably playing the Chiefs, but for some reason I
yeah, I
thought it
think,
was us.
yeah.
But
Well,
anyway,
I mean, this actually might be a little bit more challenging. We already beat the Chiefs, since we had that little Mahomes change up. So this one might be a little more tricky. So we'll see how it goes. But
yeah,
we got some more fantasy stuff to talk about today. We spent a lot of our last video talking about running backs, so we're gonna maybe pick a different position. We'll just kind of see what feels right. We'll pick another position to talk about, give you guys some our top five and some maybe good options for you to choose in your fantasy league, and we'll see how that goes.
sounds good, buddy. Let's get this party started. Do a little bit of green on green action. We hadn't done that this season yet.
Oh
See how
yeah,
we
that's
do.
true. We haven't. Yeah, we got to think of a good position to talk about.
Oh
You
yeah.
got anything you feeling?
Well, what did I see? Last week was running backs.
Yep.
Talked about them. So I mean, let's just jump in with their partner and talk about the wide receiver list this episode. What you think?
That sounds good. Yeah, wide
My
receivers.
little
Let's do it.
my little
Yeah, I see
bar
that.
thing's gone. So
It's something going on with the momentum thing. It said the arc is
oh okay,
messed up or something. That was weird.
okay. So guess that's what it is.
I never really paid attention to it before.
I didn't either. I was like, what? So fantasy football, wide receivers. All right. Since I started last week, you want to start this week and give your list first, or how you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, let's
You can give like your top five or so, like I did.
yeah, we'll dive into the top five here. Um, got a couple people on my mind. I was sitting there thinking about it after you said receivers, but
Okay.
um, let me start with somebody kind of. I don't want to start with the big names. I'm gonna start with somebody I have a good feeling about and I talk about pretty often.
Okay.
Christian Kirk, man, he's a guy I've always really liked since his time on Arizona. I feel like with the Jaguars, I mean, he's like gotten even better. I mean, he was good with our
Oh
team,
yeah.
but he's really opened up since he's been with the Jaguars. And
Right.
I
Right.
feel
Yeah.
like, I mean, their team's they haven't really done a ton, but they have, I feel like, got a little better. So, I mean, they haven't went backwards. I don't necessarily think so, but
Right.
seems like he has the potential to have another really good season. And I mean, he's maybe a guy that, I wouldn't try to grab early, but once again, as I mentioned before, like if he's somebody that can kind of fall to you and you get him in a good spot you feel comfortable with and take a shot on him, man, I think he'll do good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I can see that. Cause I mean they got rid of Ridley over there, so I mean they got who they get? They got Gabe Davis in there, so him and Gabe Davis that could be scary for Trevor Lawrence. So I can see that he could have a really good year this year.
I feel like he's definitely their number one, their number one receiver, their number one guy. And I mean,
Yeah, I
on a
think
team
yeah,
that don't have, I mean, honestly, the Jaguars don't have a ton of like huge star power names. I mean,
right, yeah, that's
so
true.
he's gonna be one of the big star player names on that team and stuff. And I mean,
And
I think he'll,
Trevor has a lot of trust in him. They got
yeah.
really good connections, so that's gonna be something fun to watch.
Yeah, so I mean, he's definitely going to be my first name. Like I say, I kind of want to go with somebody maybe unexpected. A lot of people wouldn't say.
That's
Oh,
good.
sorry, I don't know how I
You
call.
good.
Let's see. Maybe next person, I'm gonna go with somebody a little more popular. I'm gonna go with Devontae Adams on this one.
Okay.
Since the Raiders have done a little bit of changing and stuff, I have a good feeling that he's kind of he's had a rough couple of years here. I mean, with the quarterbacks that he's had and stuff since he's been on the Raiders has not been hot. He had
Right.
a lot of good options at quarterback, but
Yeah.
I think they're going to roll with Minshew this year. It seems like right. I mean, that's kind of the idea. It sounds like.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yep. Sure enough.
So if that goes that way, if Minshew plays the whole season, I have a good feeling that he's gonna be a lot better than the options that he had
Right.
before. So I think if him and Adams can get some chemistry going, get some get some feeling for each other. I think he'd be have a really good season. And I mean, the dude balls out no matter who his quarterback's been. So
Oh
you
yeah,
imagine putting somebody even better, even more consistent back there with him. And I mean, he could have a hell of a season. So
he's an unbelievable receiver. He's a technician, man. He's good route running and getting off the line of scrimmage. So he's one of the best in the league. So
I think he's kind of like maybe kind of looking to prove something to you. I mean, like I said, he's had a little bit of a down years, because of just the situation and stuff. Which I mean,
right,
his down years are still good. So I mean that says something. But I
yeah,
think he might try to kind of have a kind of a bounce back year and kind of show who he really is and prove some stuff to some people and stuff. And I mean,
right,
I'm not
yeah,
sure how the Raiders are going to be entirely as a team, but it seems like they're kind of working on getting in a better place as a team and stuff. So
right.
I think there's
That's a
some good
good pick.
chances for him to
That's a
really,
good pick. I like
really.
that.
Another guy, another big name that I've always liked, and I've mentioned him before, is Pittman. Uh,
Yeah,
I feel like same thing with him. I mean, their team does have a little bit more star players, a little bit more big names and stuff than the other guys I said, but I still have a feeling that Pittman will be the number one guy for the Colts. And I mean,
right.
Richardson coming into his second year, he might take a big leap. And I mean, he had a good year already to start off with, for a rookie season, but he could be even better
Yeah,
this
he
year.
did.
So I think I could see, if him and Pittman can get some good chemistry going, and Pittman can stay in the game and stay healthy and stuff, I think that he can have a really good year. And I mean, he's a guy I've had on my team for, I think, maybe the last 2 years he's been one of my receivers, and I've really enjoyed having him. And he's just a solid guy that you can kind of just throw in there and know that he's going to have a pretty good game no matter what. So,
Yeah, yeah, he will, and he's another one of them real strong-handed receivers. So he's pretty much catching any ball that comes his way.
yeah, and I mean, I like that. I like those players that you can just kind of throw in there. You don't have to worry about them a ton. Yeah, you
Yeah,
still want to check the matchups and kind of see what's going on. But if he's got good matchups and even on tough matchups, he still does good. And you just kind of leave him in there, not have to worry about him too much.
right.
Uh, he's somebody I would maybe kind of, maybe not, like I said, maybe not fully reach for, but he's definitely somebody that I would strongly consider taking maybe second choice, receiver or something if he's available. And
Yeah,
he's one of those
absolutely.
guys that I have a good faith in. So.
Right, absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna go with somebody you're not gonna expect me to say. I don't think. I know. I mean, we know each other pretty well, so probably a lot of these picks probably ain't surprising you a ton. But I'm gonna go with somebody that's gonna surprise you.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with Hollywood Brown, man.
okay.
Another former Cardinal. I'm gonna keep saying all these former Cardinals. I swear, I'm not biased. I
a
promise. But
lot of pride there. A lot of
yeah,
Arizona
I
pride.
mean, I gotta be honest, man. Like, I like Hollywood. But I ain't a big fan. Like, I'm not a huge fan. I mean, even when he was with the Cardinals, I was kind of iffy about him because he didn't really. I mean, he had some good games, but he didn't do a lot. But I think there was a lot going
Yeah,
on with that. I mean, Kyler
right.
was out, Hollywood hurt and stuff, But when he did play, he did a good job. Did kind of feel like he sort of kind of quiet quit towards the end of our season, which was kind of a bummer. But I
Right.
think going to a new team. I mean, I say it every time. You can't bet against the freaking Chiefs, man. Like anybody on that team, dude, is just going to be anybody on that team, there's a high chance, high possibility that they're going to be a really good player and stuff. So
Yeah, that's
I
true.
say, I mean, anybody on there is a solid choice, but I'm going to say Hollywood's a big one because, I mean, they are kind of lacking in the receiving department, and they had some issues with receivers recently. And I feel like if Hollywood can really get in there and put the work in and maybe have somebody kind of put a little fire in him, get him a little more motivated and stuff, I think he could be a really good choice, really good guy, surprise some people, and have a really good year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, because,
I
I mean,
like.
looking at the Chiefs, like I said, they have receiving issues. I mean, Kelsey, he still is Kelsey. You can't bet against him either. But he is getting a little older,
Yeah.
getting a little slower. A lot of their receivers, I mean, they couldn't catch last year. I mean,
No,
Rice was one of their best receivers, and I mean, honestly, he's having some issues. Not entirely sure what's going
he's
to happen with
having
him.
all
I
them
mean, you
legal
never
issues
know.
that's going on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, exactly. You never know if he's going to be suspended. Anything can happen between now and the beginning of the season.
right.
So I think Hollywood's a good person to bet on because he's got the
Yeah,
speed, he can catch, he's a good player and stuff. He just needs to be demotivated, and I
and
think if he can get that motivation rolling, that
yeah,
he'll be somebody to look out for.
yeah, I agree. I think Patrick Mahomes was definitely pretty happy when they traded for him, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I got one more right, top five.
Yep, one more.
This one, I'm gonna go with another Brown. I'm gonna go with Saint Brown.
Okay.
Another guy, dude. I mean, I'm gonna say out of the people I've mentioned so far, he's probably the top dog, the top the top guy I've said so far that most people have already probably kind of had an eye on anyway. Because I mean,
Right.
excellent player, excellent dude. I mean, the Lions, I don't think they're going to slow down any. I think they're going to continue to be a good, strong passing offense. Golf will probably continue to do good. I mean,
Yeah.
their division, I mean, really probably got a little easier. I mean, you know, some of the guys or some of the people in their division, the teams and stuff. I mean, they didn't have a hard division in the first place necessarily, but I do feel like it maybe got a
Yeah.
little easier this year with some of the teams changing up and stuff. So
Yeah. They
I can
the
see. Go ahead, you
the
good.
uh, the Lions they've definitely hit on their last three of their draft classes, and I mean winning their first playoff game in what it was 30 some years. I mean that's pretty incredible, and
Yeah.
they got a special team right now, so they're only going to get better. So that's a
Well,
good
they're
pick.
going to try keeping that momentum going. I mean,
Oh yeah.
like that kind of encouragement from winning, like you said,
Right.
playoff game and that long and stuff. It's gonna probably keep them motivated and stuff. And
Oh yeah.
like I said, I don't see any reason they would slow down or anything. And I mean, St. Brown's incredible receiver, another guy I've had on my team before. That same thing I said. I mean, you just stick him in there and like you know that he's going to be pretty solid for you just about no matter
Yeah.
what.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I forgot, man. This is random, but I forgot we had Pittman on our team, dude. I'm sitting
Yeah,
there
we
talking
do.
about him. I forgot we traded for him. I'm gonna have to
Oh
get him a
man.
touchdown after talking about him now. But yeah, I mean that's my top five there.
All
I
right.
feel pretty good about those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good list. I mean, I got to be honest. You said a couple guys in there that I was gonna say, so we had a couple similar. So I might say them or I might change it up. I don't know yet. I ain't decided.
Okay, that's cool.
Uh, oh man.
Oh,
So I'm gonna go with. Let's see. Let me get my list pulled back up here. Getting old,
so
man.
you
It's
had
hard
some
to
time to
remember all
write some
this.
stuff down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you want me to go first, where you could jot some stuff down. I see you. That's all right, though.
So I'm gonna. I mean, this guy's the. He was the leading receiver last year, and he's on a team that I don't like, but he's a damn good player. So I'm gonna go with CD Lamb. Um, I think he's gonna be just as productive this year than he was last year. I mean, there's no reason for him to slow down, and he's still got Dak. They're healthy, so I think CD's gonna continue on like he did last year. So that'd be my
You know,
first
I,
pick.
I talk about all the time how it blows my mind, dude. Dak is always up there in the top leading of the
Yeah,
passing and stuff. And I mean, yeah, I don't know how he does it. He'll lead the league in passing all the time, be top five passing quarterbacks, and they still lose. But whatever, that's not the point. The point is, that's
yeah,
a good pick. I mean, Lamb's their number one guy, and I mean, if Dak continues to play like that, continues to be in the top, leading of the league, I mean, there's no reason that CD wouldn't be right there with him. So I feel
right,
that's a good pick,
absolutely.
man. That's a solid choice.
Yeah. So, all right. So number two, I'm gonna go with this guy right here that we're playing against, Mr. AJ Brown. He's a guy that I really liked. I liked him when he was at Tennessee, and now that he's on the Eagles, I mean he's staying healthy now and he's playing some good ball. But I really like his size and speed, and he's got them good strong hands. But AJ Brown, I think is one of my top picks that I try to get.
That's another solid choice, bro. I mean, you look at the Eagles, and I mean, I know they kind of fell off a little bit towards the end of the season there, but I mean,
Yeah,
these last couple of years, dude, they've been a juggernaut. They've been a tough team to beat. And I mean, defenses have a hard time against them, and I mean, Brown's a big reason why. So
yeah, he
same
is.
thing. I mean, I don't see any reason that they wouldn't be the same way this year. I mean, they've lost a couple guys and stuff, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be anything significant to make them really be make them be a terrible team or anything. So
Right.
it's a good choice.
So my next one, moving on to number three, is Mr. Cooper Cup. Uh, he's maybe I don't know. I'm not sure if he's still the number one receiver there at the Rams because I know Puka's real high on a lot of people's board. He's actually higher. Puka's actually higher than Cooper on the fantasy list here. But I had Cooper Cup that year. He won the Triple Crown, and I really like him. Uh, he's got he was a great blocker. He's got good hands, and he does his job. He does his job the right way, and I just like him as a receiver and as a person. So Cooper Cup would definitely be somebody that I would try to get if available.
You know my feelings on the Rams, bro. I can't stand the team, but I mean, I'm gonna say, man, like no matter how much I dislike the team, I've always liked Cup. I mean, dude, it sucks playing against him. It sucks seeing him beat your team up all the time, but the
Right,
guy is, I mean, he's an incredible player, and I mean, I kind of feel like he has kind of settled into that mentor, veteran kind of like role, and that's a good thing because
yeah,
guys like that, are the ones that the quarterbacks trust. So I
right.
mean,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Puka might be getting a lot more, attention on the deep passes, on the big plays and stuff, but I feel like Cup's going to be that solid, trustworthy guy that Stafford can hit when he knows that he has nobody left. So, I mean,
yeah,
stuff like that,
absolutely.
makes the receiver, makes a solid receiver, makes him have a good season and stuff. Even if he's just doing little small check downs and stuff, he'll work it in the field. And
Yeah,
he's good at getting the yards after contact and stuff. So that's a good choice too, bro. I feel good about that one. I
appreciate
wouldn't lie
that.
to you, man. I tell you who I thought was bad, but I.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So let's get next guy is one of the ones you said. This is funny. We actually my last two guys is probably the same guys you said, which I'm not saying because I believe in them too. I'm gonna say Devontae Adams is somebody that I really like, and I agree with you. I think this year he's gonna have a better year than he did last year. He's got Minshew this year, and he's still a little bit more of a reliable quarterback necessarily than Garoppolo was, and the backup, the rookie that they had. So he can't beat. There's no better route runner in the league as Devontae Adams, and I really like him, and he's gonna do good. I feel like.
Yeah, man, I ain't really got nothing else to add. I said what I
Yeah.
feel about him, and
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a strong candidate, to be. I mean, people think, obviously he's a big receiver. People know his name and they think about him, but I do think he's going to be overlooked by a lot of guys. It's not really, they're going to look back at his last couple seasons, and be like, I don't really know if I want to take a chance on him, but I think that
Yeah.
he's worth it. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he's a dude that I feel like definitely worth taking a chance on if you have the option to do it.
Right. And my last one here, I'm gonna go with somebody different. I wasn't gonna say the same person again, but I'm gonna say Justin Jefferson. I don't think you can not have a top guy and not say Justin Jefferson. So I think I mean, yeah, he's got a new quarterback this season, but the guy can catch. You throw the ball his way, he's gonna catch it. So I think Jefferson's gonna have a good season regardless of who his quarterback is.
Yeah, I mean, there's no slowing that guy down, man. I didn't
No.
mention, him because I was kind of trying to like maybe talk about some little less known or maybe a little
Yeah.
like lower guys. But I mean, yeah, Jefferson, bro, like he's one of those guys up there with like
Right.
Jamar Chase and stuff. For like obviously, like no matter
Yeah.
what's going on, they're gonna have a pretty solid season. It feels like, and
My
yeah, I mean, I'm not really, I'm not one of those. A lot of people kind of don't really seem to be sold on the Vikings quarterback, situation, but I mean, I don't see, I mean, obviously there's going to be some learning issues and stuff, but if they go with a rookie, I mean, I'm not sure what their plans are yet because I know they've mentioned some other things, but,
yeah.
if they go with the rookie, I don't, I mean, it might be a little bit of issues at first, but I think once he gets settled in and stuff, that, I mean, it's not going to be any issue. Jefferson, dude can
Oh
get
yeah.
open against four or
Yeah.
five people, be on playing on him, he can still catch the
Yeah,
ball. It's crazy, so.
he's one of them automatic almost receivers, if you will. But the last number five, I was gonna say Amon Ra, but we both had Amon Ra and Devontae Adams, so
Yeah,
I didn't want to do the whole thing the same, so I changed to
I feel you,
Amon Ra
bro.
for Justin Jefferson. So, but that's some good receivers right there. The 10 we said
Yeah.
is pretty solid, and will definitely help you win a fantasy league for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I was trying to, think of some guys that, like I said, maybe might kind of go under the radar for a few rounds, maybe. Or, I mean, some
Yeah.
of the guys I said are number one, like they're gonna be picked pretty early. But I was trying to kind of think of some dudes that might be, less thought about and stuff. So I
Right.
got a couple of other ones that I was thinking of, maybe kind of honorable mentions and stuff that I think, might sneak down the board a little bit that I think would be pretty solid.
All right. Who you got?
Uh, I'm a big fan of this guy. I talk about him every once in a while and stuff, but I really like Michael Williams, man. He's changed teams, so fresh start, which sometimes yeah, it can be a bad thing when receivers change teams and stuff, but a lot of times it's a good thing. They get that fresh start in a new team and stuff. And I think that him going to a new team and kind of getting a chance to kind of like stop and kind of look at it, from a different perspective, maybe or something, and switch some things up. That he might be somebody who's really worth considering
Right. Yeah.
going with.
That's a good. That's a good honorable mention. I can see that.
Because he went to the Jets, correct? That's what we're
Yeah.
playing is
He
right. He
did.
went to the
Yeah.
Jets this year. So
Sure did.
I mean, if Aaron Rodgers comes back this year and he actually can play a game, if he's healthy and stuff. I mean, Williams is a dude. Same thing, you said about a couple guys, strong hands. He can get open. He's just a big dude. I mean, he just get down the field, catch what comes to him, and Rodgers is the quarterback that can get it there. So they can get some chemistry going and they get some get some things worked out with their team. I can see him being one of their best receivers, maybe their number 2 guy, maybe their number 1 guy. I don't know. I mean, it depends on the situation and stuff. But that's my feeling with him, man. I think he's going to do pretty solid there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Another guy I
got
had
one
on my
more?
mind too. Yeah, I might have stole it from you. I feel like you was probably going to say it, but Curtis Samuel. We both talk about
That's
Samuel,
a
man.
yeah. Yeah,
He's somebody
we
that I
both
don't
like
think
that
a
guy.
lot of I don't think a lot of people think about him. And I think he's gonna. I definitely think he could fall pretty late in the draft and stuff. And I mean, if you ain't got a
Yeah.
lot of options and you need a good, solid player, I think he's somebody you could go for. Because I mean, the same thing with Williams that I just said. He's a new team.
Right.
He's got some, refreshing going on. I mean, he's going to be arguably a much better quarterback situation than he had before.
Right.
From his
Yeah,
last
he
few seasons and stuff.
that's due, and I'm not sure, but he may be end up being Buffalo's wide receiver 1. So I
It's
mean, I'm
very
not
possible. I
100%.
mean,
So
you never know what's going to happen with them either. I mean, they're kind of in the same situation I was just saying with the Jets. Like you're not entirely sure who's going to be the number 1, who number 2. So throughout the season, it could change and stuff. But I mean, I think Curtis Samuel has a strong chance to be their number 1 guy.
yeah,
And I mean, he gets involved a lot in some trick running plays and stuff and things like that. He does a lot of other stuff than just catch the ball. He gets involved in a lot of things. So if he continues doing those things and stuff, that's a good fantasy. It's a good fantasy recipe, to have some rushing yards, catching yards, touchdown, rushing. I mean, all the different things that he can do that can really get you some fantasy points and stuff.
yeah. That's some good. That's some good honorable mentions. I like that that list. That's pretty solid. So let me.
Did I steal Samuel from you? What you thinking of him?
No, I mean, he's a guy I like, but actually, I wasn't gonna mention him.
Okay.
So my first honorable mention is rookie, Carolina's rookie. Matter of fact, is I'm gonna say Xavier Leggett. I think he's gonna be a godsend, if you will, to Carolinas, and I'm looking forward to him, man. I think he's gonna be the one of the big pieces that Carolina's been missing. That's really gonna help her offense expand and score points finally. So I'm really excited for him, and I would definitely for sure draft him. Maybe not my first 2 wide receivers, but I'll definitely try to pick him up as a flex or my bench player because I know he's gonna come on and have some really good games for us. Maybe a little bit later on in the season, but I think he's gonna do a lot for us.
Well, he's probably another guy that would, very likely fall pretty far down the board, because
Yeah,
same thing, a lot of people that don't really know him and a lot of people that don't maybe know the team and stuff,
that's true.
won't
Yeah,
think about him. So, I mean, that's a good thing to kind of have that option there for somebody
yeah,
lower down the board that, draft later in the draft that you can grab a hold of or something. So,
yeah. That's a good point. So number 2 is a guy, Georgia Bulldog, Mr. George Pickens. I really like him, man. I love his attitude. He plays, with aggression, and he can make some freak catches, man. And that dude, he's just a ball player, man. And I love him. So George Pickens is definitely one of them I would draft for sure.
and with the Steelers, man, like it's hard to I'm nothing against your pick here, but it's like
Right, 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 right. I
one
get
thing
it.
is a little worried about them is you're not entirely sure what's going to happen with their quarterback situation either. But if Russell
Yeah,
Wilson is the one and he comes out there and he plays like old Russ, then dude, that's definitely a solid pick. I mean,
yeah.
Russell Wilson's one of them guys. Like when he's on and he's playing right, dude,
He's on. Yeah,
it's hard to stop him, bro. Like because he's got an arm, he's got plenty
right.
of things that he can do to make the ball get to where it needs to be. So I mean, that's a good pick. It kind of depends on the quarterback situation for that team. I feel like, but
Oh yeah, yeah. No doubt, no doubt about it.
obviously I would have said Marvin Harrison Jr. But I mean he's a given. Like everybody knows he's gonna be good, so I didn't have to mention him. So
That's true. That's true. So let's see. My number three.
I
Number
didn't really
three.
name
Here we
another. I
go.
think I named two. That was about it for me.
Oh, you said three. You said because you said Mike Williams,
Curtis Samuel, that was it for
Pittman.
me, buddy.
You said Pittman and Curtis Samuel.
Pittman was one of my top five.
Was he? You
Yeah,
sure?
yeah.
You said somebody. I'm pretty sure.
I promise that was it, man. I said two. Well, I mean, I just said Marvin Harrison right there, but I mean, that wasn't really
Oh,
honorable
okay.
mention. That was just me saying. If you
Okay.
got another one, bro, go for it. That's cool, man.
All right. Let's see here. Let me look at my list real quick. I'm getting old, man. Hard to remember this stuff. Like so many people. I'm gonna say. Let's see where'd he go. I just seen him. I'm gonna say Mike Evans. He's he's a really good receiver. Got over 1,000 yards 10 seasons in a row, which is obviously a record, a Hall of Fame record, and he's in Carolina's division, so we see a lot of him, and I mean he's just a unguardable receiver. I mean that's all I can say about him. He's gonna catch the ball when it comes his way. So Mike Evans is a solid fantasy pick. Yeah, he's getting older and a little slower, but he's still a really good, reliable option.
Absolutely, man. He's one of those guys you know he's going to get the ball if it comes to him.
Yeah,
That's what
for
you want to
sure.
look for in a receiver in fantasy. That's really the biggest thing there.
That's no doubt about it.
You think there's maybe any teams that you would maybe say avoid some receivers and stuff? I know I said this about the running backs with the Ravens, but I kind of feel the same way about their receivers, man. Like Lamar, I'm not one of those people that's like Lamar's a running back. I'm not that kind of person. Like I'm not one of those guys. But I mean, it is kind of true that like he does spread the ball around a lot, and like they do a lot of running on their offense. So
Yeah,
I would say that personally, I wouldn't reach out for a lot of their receivers. I mean, Mark Andrews is a different situation. We'll talk about tight ends later on in one of our other videos possibly, but you
right.
know, throwing him out there, he is one of their number one catching guys on the team. So outside of him, I mean, there's not a lot of people on that team that I would say would be worth a reach for. Maybe later rounds or something. If you get a chance, you go for it. But I wouldn't worry about early. Well, I mean, would you agree
Wow.
with me on that? I mean, the Ravens. Would you agree that it's not really many people on their receiving core
Yeah.
that you would really,
Other than their
Flowers. I mean,
yeah, other than Flowers, right? That's what I was gonna say, or even their tight end, but he's not a receiver. But
yeah.
as far as strictly receiver, yeah. But, damn, what did you just say? What's his name?
Flowers, yeah.
Flowers, yeah. That'd be the only one. Good shit, man. Good pick.
Clutch time to get that interception. Well, how about you? You got any, maybe like just one team that you kind of think receivers
I
would be
got,
no?
yeah. I got one team, bro, and this is gonna be a funny one. Do not draft anybody from the New England Patriots. They do not have a good
Yeah,
receiving
well,
core. It's trash last year. It's trash this year.
that's a good point.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you could probably say that about a couple teams, really, if we thought about it hard enough. But just
Oh
throwing
yeah.
a couple out there, I would say, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pretty. I
That's
feel like that's a gimme. Anybody that drafts somebody from the Patriots
there. I
last year
mean,
definitely knows. I mean,
yeah. If you draft somebody from New England, you don't know what you're doing in fantasy. I'm sorry. So I would steer clear of all of them. One of them may, pop out and start doing good, which would be great. I mean, because they got new coaches and new quarterbacks and all. So I mean, it's very possible they got somebody, but right off the bat, I would
it's
hold
a little
off
too
on that.
risky. Yeah,
Yeah,
a little too risky to do early on. So,
right, right, absolutely.
but yeah, I mean that's kind of our opinions on the receivers there. I mean, we're not experts, but I mean, we'll try giving as good of advice as we can on what we feel is true. So I mean,
100%. Yep.
uh, yeah, I mean, if you agree, you disagree, let us know. Drop some comments and kind of tell us, what you think, or maybe you have your own top five. You can leave those in there. We'll check it out. Just let us know what you think. As always, I mean, like I say, if you don't, share the videos, spread them around. Let us know how we're doing. Tell us your true, honest opinion on what you think. We like to take the criticism.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, we appreciate y'all tuning in for this one. This was a good wide receiver draft. We hope we gave y'all some good pointers and ideas about some people, maybe somebody you didn't think about. But let us know also if we forgot anybody, if we didn't mention somebody, because I mean,
Yeah,
there's so
we
many
left some
of
we left
them.
some we left some big names off there kind of for kind of on purpose. We was trying to focus on some kind of like maybe hidden gems or something like that. But you got some other guys that fit in that category for sure. Let us know because I mean that's some common knowledge just for everybody. We want to share it with everybody so they can have a good fantasy draft. And
Absolutely.
honestly, help us too. I mean, we do fantasy drafts. So I wouldn't mind getting some hidden gem information somebody else don't know, but I can get a good win off of it maybe.
Yeah, you can. That's true. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Appreciate you watching.
Yeah, bro, how do I just keep getting two tackles every game?